The St. Joseph River and St. Mary's River converge in Fort Wayne to form the Maumee River. This came to be the portage or carrying place over which travelers could transport their cargoes from one system to the next. This natural crossroads attracted the Native Americans for thousands of years. It is unknown who named the rivers, but they were probably given their European names by an early Catholic priest who passed through the area. This area of the three rivers was a site of settlement of Native Americans for as much as 10,000 years. The collection of villages, known as Kikionga, was a center of the Miami Nation in historic times. At the time of the Miami Confederacy in the 1790s, Kikionga also was the gathering place for the Huron, the Ottawa, and the Shawnee Indians. Kikionga was described in the 1790s as being a very large settlement called Miami Town by Eastern Americans who feared the place as the center of Indian resistance to the expanding United States. Frontier Kikionga remained a place of the native settlement until the Miamis were forcibly removed from Indiana in 1846. Little Turtle hailed as the last chief of the Miami Indians. He resided in Kikionga, the Miami capital, and spent many years battling and defeating the whites to protect the three rivers. Little Turtle and his warriors were never beaten during a battle. In 1793, General Mad Anthony Wayne came to make some agreement with Little Turtle. It was General Wayne who caused Little Turtle to realize that inevitable defeat that lay ahead of him. Little Turtle placed his mark on the Treaty of Greenville and never went to war again. He had then become a great advocate of peace for the Miami Indians. There were 3 American forts built along the riverside of Fort Wayne. The first American fort was built by General Mad Anthony Wayne. The current fort is a replica of the one constructed by Major John Whistler and his men from 1815 to 1816 and was the last fort to stand at the junction of the St. Mary, St. Joseph, and Maumee River. It was designed purely for defense against Native Americans. It can be defended comfortably by a relatively small number of men. All constructions within the fort were protected by gun loops, or carved out areas where soldiers could comfortably fit their muskets in defense of outside threats. The quartermaster's office is where soldiers would go to draw their supplies for daily living and protection of the fort. The main gate to the fort is in the middle of the enlisted soldiers' barracks. Soldiers slept 2 to a bed, and those with families typically lived on the second floor. The flag flown above Fort Wayne bears 15 stars and 15 stripes, one for each state when it was adopted in 1794. Soldiers could climb high ladders within the north blockhouse, carrying buckets of water. These buckets of water would put out flames made by burning material the Native Americans would throw at the fort. The southern blockhouse. Soldiers positioned here could cover the south and east walls of the fort with ease. The impressive building served as the home and headquarters of Major Whistler. On the ground floor were the headquarters where the daily orders were written and court materials were held. This spacious building sheltered the fort's officers. Like the other main buildings, the officers' quarters formed part of the wall for the defense. The solid log outside wall of the building is composed of 8-inch thick timbers, which could stop any musket ball. Although called the hospital, this building served a variety of purposes. On the lower floor was located the soldiers' kitchen. The hospital only consisted of one room on the second floor. The ward could accommodate 6 men. This building also housed a barracks which was home to 8 men. The post gardens. In garden plots outside of the walls, many kinds of vegetables and herbs were raised. Especially common was corn, which had long been grown in the area. Other types of fruits and vegetables, from asparagus to watermelons, were brought to Fort Wayne by soldiers and traders. Present-day Fort Wayne is rich with history of early settlement days and continues to be a monumental site in the United States history.